Welcome to today's edition of the Lone Star and Volunteer State Mystery Hour. I'm Sue, hailing from Texas. And Amy, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm also in Texas.
Well, I'm Jeff in Tennessee, and today we're going to continue our look at UFOs around Florida, starting with the Gulf Breeze incidents or series of incidents. So the Gulf Breeze is described as a top that dropped orbs. So very fun. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, the small coastal town of Gulf Breeze, which is right near Pensacola, became the UFO capital of the world. A contractor named Ed Walters captured national attention when he took dozens of photos of a metallic top-shaped craft hovering right over the water. But what really freaked out the community was the accompanying orbs. And these are orbs like I presume like Amy was describing in our previous episode. Walters and multiple neighbors described seeing this massive silent craft emit a piercing blue beam of light down to the ground, followed by a small glowing blue and white orbs that would detach from the main object, shoot across the tree line at blinding speed, and then return back to the object. While Walter's photos were heavily debated, dozens of independent residents, including a local highway patrol officer, reported seeing the exact same glowing spheres dancing around the bay for months. Now, I have opinions on this one because you got to look at the pictures. And I don't doubt that people saw orbs, okay? Amy saw orbs in that area. That's not that far from where you were.
No.
But
different colors, though. That was different colors, yeah.
Yeah, but the picture that they put in the paper looks to me like a reflection of a light fixture on your window.
Well, just kind of like what you had said earlier. You got to remember back then we had flip phones. So, like if you take a picture of the moon, it never comes out correctly, right? Unless you have some special camera. So you taking a picture of one of the, and if it's illuminating lights and stuff, it's not going to look right. I'm just going to say that.
Well,
it's not going to look right.
That's the other thing about it. It doesn't look self-illuminated. That's the other thing. If you take a picture of the moon, it looks like a blurry white ball,
Yeah.
If you take a picture of fireworks, it just looks like a mess. If this was lit up brightly in the sky and you took a picture with a film camera that you would have had back then, I don't know if you used a digital or film camera, but it'd just be a blurry mess. And what it really does look like is he has a weirdly shaped, light fixture on his ceiling that was, turned down dim. And then he took a picture through the window to where it looks like he just caught that reflection. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, pull up the picture. Can you pull up the picture and share it?
Yeah, let's try. All right. So here's the set here. Yeah. So this is what I'm looking at here on the right. I mean, does that not look like a light fixture? I've lived in I lived in a lot of rental places that have lights that look a lot like that.
Yeah, it does.
And you notice it looks kind of transparent, like a reflection on a window would. I mean, it just, I don't know. I'm skeptical of this one, like deeply skeptical. The other thing that it reminds me of is here in Tennessee on I-40, there is a water tower in between, I don't know, here in Cookeville, that when you come up over the hill approaching it, it's lit from below. And for the first, I don't know, 10 or 15 times I drove past it at night, I was terrified that I was seeing a flying saucer coming at me. It just comes up over the hill and it looks like a flying saucer because it's lit from below. It kind of looks like this, but a little bit wider and thinner. And after you get used to it, but the first few times you see it, you're like, oh wow, this is the day. But no, it never is. So,
well, let me share you a picture that I have. Let me see if I can get it to share. And I think this is the same instance. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's the same picture.
But look at the top of it, though. I don't know that. I just had trouble seeing your picture. That's why I was trying to look and see.
But, that's a much better version.
Yeah, you can see a top to it. Still looks like a lampshade.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like a lampshade to
really-
me. I know you're thinking like the electrical light or lights.
Yeah,
that
the
are
one from
on
the ceiling.
top.
But it
Yeah.
could have been a lampshade or something like that.
It looks like a lampshade to me.
It doesn't look. I just don't believe it. And that's the picture we have. That's from the local paper, right? The
Yeah.
Sentinel. And so of course, once you print a picture in the paper, it is not going to be a super high quality picture, so it's hard to know what the original looked like. But I just don't buy it. I think this is somebody just having fun.
It could be.
And maybe people are seeing orbs, and he's trying to kind of cash in on that, or just play along with it, because people like to have fun. Like
Yeah, but
it's like the whole.
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt you for just a second because I found something else. Let me see if this is it. Where did it go? I lost it. I don't know if that's it.
And this
There.
was in the 1990s. Okay, there you go.
So
is
that
one of
does
the
look like
original
the
photos?
lampshade. Okay, so that does. But look at
Yeah.
this. But that is a better picture of it, and that is from 1987.
Yeah. So this would have been a film camera. Probably. It's definitely better than the one from the paper. But it still looks like a lampshade, does it not?
It does, but I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm skeptical of this one. I want these things to be true. I want them more than anything. I want the little green men to come down here and give me health care. But I don't think
I know.
this is them.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I was telling Sue, I recently watched, it was a podcast and I didn't know the year, but it was about a gentleman that had said that he was out in the woods hunting and he saw these moose and he shot his rifle and the bullet dropped to the ground. It was like there was an invisible wall. And then all of a sudden this smart alien came down and he asked him if he was hungry and he gave him a pill and then he took him and the elk to his spaceship, and the man said he remembers telling the alien, "You took my elk," because he was getting ready to kill it, right? And then the alien said that, "Well, you're no longer needed, so we're going to drop you off. We're going to drop you off." And he said, and the man said, "Well, how are they going to find me?" He goes, "They'll find you." And so then later, his wife had some kind of intuition to go look for him, called the police. It was a small town. Got the police out there. They found him on the ground, took him to the hospital, couldn't find anything wrong with him. But they did say later that the man had had a vasectomy, and that was why they thought the aliens didn't need him. So, but they dropped him off on the
That's
ground.
charming. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd love for him to pick me up sometime. I just love that.
But you didn't hear the best part. When the reason I mentioned it was because when you said the medical, so he's an elderly gentleman now, but he was exposed to TB, right? So he has the TB scars on his lungs. And that's proven fact, that's proven fact. So when they took him to the hospital and took him in to having him checked, of course they did chest x-rays and everything. The TB scars were gone.
Amazing. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Free healthcare for everybody.
That's why when you said that, I thought, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, they're famous for that kind of stuff. Like, come on down. Let's do this, guys. Like, how hard it is to get anything done here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't. I know we're on the podcast, but I don't think I have any eggs left. These are all gone.
I don't think they're coming for me either.
Yeah.
But that's my thoughts on the Gulf Breeze one. I don't know. I think we've got some more in Florida we could talk about.
Yeah, Amy, why don't you talk about the Sarasota coast sightings?
Well, so this is fast forwarding to more recent years around Sarasota and St. Petersburg. One of the most widely reported patterns involving beachgoers and evening diners looking out over the ocean and spotting what looks like a massive, intensely bright white or amber star. Witnesses described the orb sitting perfectly still just above the horizon for like 10 to 15 minutes, long enough for crowds to gather, pull out their phones, and realize that it isn't an airplane or a planet. Suddenly, without a sound, the orb will accelerate horizontally in a perfectly flat line across the water, traveling so fast it looks like a streak of white ink before simply vanishing into the air. Local airport radars consistently show absolutely nothing in the airspace during these events. So I believe that. I mean, I'm not going to say that, 100% I have seen these in the sky, but I have seen things in the sky and then they're gone and it's, so I believe it. I don't know I don't know how radar works at the airports, but heck, we can't even get the weather right. So it doesn't faze me that they wouldn't pick it up.
And I hate to be as skeptical as I am on this stuff, but let's look at these pictures now because the description you're giving sounds like a planet on the horizon. And then I look at the pictures and I'm like, this is just like the moon behind a cloud. So take a look at these. I don't know what you can see there, but this first one, that's like the sun or the moon behind a cloud or something. That's nothing.
Well, that
And
could be a
then the most of
plane
them, I mean, no, that's
or a
clearly like
helicopter.
the sun or
It
the moon,
literally could
and
be a
maybe a helicopter.
helicopter with a spotlight looking into the water, to be
Could
honest
be, but
with
it's
you.
pretty bright. It's pretty big. I think that's probably like the sun or the moon. Like, with the brightness of the light, I think it's the sun peeking through a cloud. We've all seen that. Like the ones at night, like down below, like it's just, obviously you can't take a picture of a light in the sky at night. It's going to look like a dot. So, I mean, it just looks like the moon peeking through a cloud to me.
Well, it looks,
And
having lived on the coast, not Florida, but having lived on the coast both in California and in Texas, that to me looks like a helicopter that is searching and they have their spotlight on at night. I have seen it many times, and that's what it looks like to me.
could be that. I mean, I don't know, but it doesn't look too convincing to me. And then the description, like this is a bright amber or white light near the horizon. And then when it disappears, it kind of goes into like a horizontal line. That is like Venus setting. Like, and Venus typically not amber, but Mars is. I mean, and on the horizon, Venus can look a little yellow. So I don't know. I don't know about that one. Like I don't know. Like I said, I'd love to see these things. I would love to. I've never seen anything other than the giant water tower on I-40.
Well, we're going to get you out to Marfa, Texas. That's one of the subjects we're going to talk about later. And I think that wholly deserves a trip to Marfa, Texas, because we got some weirdness going on here. But
I love Marfa. I used to stop in Marfa every chance I could on I-10. That's where the giant pool is, right? Built by the WPA or the CCC or something. Big pool built into the stone with a cold spring feeding it. Oh, it's the best place in the world.
But they have the best and weirdest light show possible. So we may have to do a live show from Marfa when we get it. But getting back to Florida, Amy, what do you think about these guys?
I agree. Yes, it could be this, it could be that, could it be an orb? I believe so. So, and I think that if you see something strange, I mean, if it was a helicopter, it had to be close enough for them, they would probably hear it.
Not necessarily, depending on what kind you got.
Well, depends.
And the ocean is loud.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, you can be skeptical. You could come up. You could see a spaceship right in front of you and then say, oh, I didn't really see that. So, I mean, you can pick apart whatever you want, I think that they saw something. Obviously, they saw something, didn't look natural to them. So,
Well, the fact that they saw it over multiple days in like the same place. And what is that facing east or west when you're in that area?
Sarasota, that would be facing
east, right?
Which way is the water?
I think
south.
Boy, you ask such tough
south.
questions.
I don't know. Look at a map. I don't know where Sarasota is.
Actually, it's on the same side.
It's like the west.
Yeah, it's on the west side of Florida, so it was facing the Gulf.
Okay. So it'd be facing the Gulf, facing east. There is a barrier island that direction. A lot of things could be there. A helicopter is an obvious choice, even a plane. But also,
a plane's not going to be there for several days. The helicopter's not going to be there for several days. So you kind of just rule yourself out on that. Yeah.
I think it's just more likely it's cloudy and you're looking at, and those pictures look to me like you're looking at the moon and it's peeking through some clouds. And when the moon sets over water, I mean, you lived in California, so you've seen the moon set over the water. That very last second when it just goes under the horizon, there's like a horizontal line of light that is
Yeah.
pretty impressive if you can catch it just right. So I don't know. I think that's just natural lights in the sky that people are like, people these days are indoor cats. They don't know what's out there.
This
So
is true. This is true.
Well,
Oh,
I think more people are looking to the sky now too. So, and they have better equipment, So,
well, let's talk about Miami, because Miami is, another city of weird sightings. Over at the Miami River, there was a Miami resident that kept saying that they were spotting two rotating S-shaped aircraft hovering over the Miami River. And the witness was saying, well, it glided very gracefully and you couldn't hear it. And it had a really unusual spin to it, but it was maintaining a steady position over the water. So I wasn't able to find a lot of images on it, although I did find this one. Let me see if I can share
yeah,
it.
this one sounds interesting. It could be anything,
It could
but
be a lot of
it at least
things.
doesn't sound like a planet.
No.
And for those of us who aren't from Florida,
This
oh,
is,
see, that's neat.
see, right there. That's what they were seeing.
And they're saying it kind of rotated and
It
the
would
lights would
rotate.
kind of change
Yeah.
places.
So to
Yeah.
me, again, we're in Miami. How close are we to a base? I get a little suspect around anything that's close to a base.
yeah, no, Tampa has a base. I don't know. I don't know what about Miami.
I don't think there's much military in Miami,
No,
but
but there are things close. You've got Cape Canaveral down the way. So I don't know.
yeah,
This was the only image I could find, but
it's not terribly impressive. And
no.
you'll notice it's above. It looks like the lights are above like another metro. Like there's lights there
Yeah,
on the ground.
it could be drones, but
I don't know. It
granted,
kind of
this
reminds me
was
of the Phoenix lights,
yeah.
which nobody ever figured that out either. So I
No,
mean that's
no, and
legit. I
that
mean
one
that
was
could be
scary.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, that one to me
I
was
didn't see
scary.
it. I think I was there for it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, you lived there then, I
Yeah, I
think.
knew
Yeah.
nothing about it. I was probably asleep.
Well, I don't know. This to me, there's not enough evidence for me to really make a determination. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it could be a number of things, but who knows? Like all we've got is this story.
yeah,
Maybe that's something. Who knows?
I don't know. Amy, what do you think?
I don't know. You can't really tell from that picture.
Yeah.
I mean, I am an open believer to anything, that anything's out there. A lot of times, yes, it's not aliens. A lot of times it's other things, but there's enough out there that you can't explain. So, and I mean, there's too much. I know there's people that even with the government putting out the UFO stuff and everything, they still don't believe it. They still don't believe it. They still cannot believe that things have been going on all these years and there's other things out there in our world. So that cracks me up. I think things are going to get harder as the years go on because our government, I mean, from what I understand, I could be wrong, but now we have where you can actually, our military can actually, plane can go invisible. So if that's true, can you imagine that? I mean, so I don't think humans are smart enough to figure that out, but obviously our military did. So, so they got
I
that
haven't heard
knowledge.
anything about that, but
They got that knowledge from somewhere. So.
possible. But I'm still, look, I'd love to see something that convinces me. The next one in Daytona, I think is interesting, and I really hope we can find some pictures or video of this one because this is the Daytona Beach indoor work.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is a bizarre case caught attention from the local news in Daytona Beach. The person who reported it happens to be the chaplain for the local police department. And on his home security cameras, he found that there was a glowing perfectly spherical orb of light captured floating directly through his living room. It didn't move like dust or a stray bug on the lens. It had an independent floating path, changing directions deliberately, hovering over furniture, and casting a faint glow on the physical room before passing directly through a wall.
There
I
it
mean,
is.
this is legit. I want to see this. You got the video?
Well, I've got the Ring camera up here.
See if we can watch it, because this
Let's
sounds
see.
good. This sounds like an orb like you saw. Like it, it's not super physical. It kind of goes through stuff sometimes. Could be, who knows what this is.
It came from somewhere.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
if it'll stop spinning, maybe we can see it.
Can you imagine seeing that in your living room, Jeff? You keep saying you want to see something. Something is going to happen. I swear. You keep saying
we'll
you want
see.
to see something. You're going to see something.
All right, there
You
it
think I want
is.
it too bad? Oh, you got it running? Let's see it.
Wait a minute. Here, let me back it up.
I don't see any video playing, so.
I don't either.
You don't?
Just-
Oh, hold on. I thought I shared it. Just a
I
minute.
think you have to share the new screen that the video's on.
Let's see. Okay. Stop.
I mean, and yeah, if there was a floating ball of light in my living room and I happened to cross it, I would freak the F out. I would really probably not enjoy it at the moment. But here we go. Here we go. Let's watch this video.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, to me, that looked like a flashlight, to be honest.
Kind of look like a lens flare or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not. Is that all they
You
got?
guys are the most skeptical people I've ever met.
Okay, let me blow this up.
That would
Okay,
scare me.
This is a police officer. You understand? He's a police officer.
No, he's
Let
not a
alone
police
that he's-
Oh, and the
officer. He's
police
a
never lied
pastor.
lied about you.
And he's a chaplain
Oh.
too. No, he's a police officer.
Okay, those may give them credit to you, but a preacher and a cop, those are negative on my list. That makes you 2 times a liar. So no, that doesn't give you any cred with me. I'm sorry. I've had the police lie to my face and say, "You got a tail light out. That's why I pulled you over." And no, I didn't, dude. Show me. So come on. And a preacher? Come on, dude. No, talking about stuff you don't know about. I don't know. That one, hard to see, hard to tell. I mean, it didn't look round, first off.
No.
It didn't look like an orb to me.
It
When
didn't
you
match the
looked at
description.
it looks, you know how you can shine your flashlight
don't-
around? It wasn't flashlight shaped, but it was luminescent like a flashlight. It
Kind of looked like a flare on your lens, if anything.
Yeah, something. It just
And you know what can cause a light like that in your house is the sun set coming through the little peephole in your front door. I mean, that's
excuse me.
one thing it could be. Or cracking your
All right,
blinds.
let's watch it again. Let's watch it again.
Hold on.
All right.
Let me get it set up here.
I mean, it's like 2 seconds of video too.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
I think you have to start from the beginning, so.
Here we go.
Hold on. Let me blow it up so you have the full view.
Yeah.
There you go.
I didn't really see where it was actually coming from.
Okay, so watch. It starts to come this way.
Okay, so that's not coming from a window. It's not coming from a door. Play it again.
It looks kind of plate shaped.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming from the top left and moving it slowly to the bottom right. It looks like an artifact from the camera more than anything to me.
See, to me, it's a light shining on something.
Yeah, or And it's
I
not
mean,
lighting up his room. Like it said, like
no.
the description says it lit up the room. It's not doing that. So that's why I think it's just like a flare hitting the, because the
Haven't heard
lens is going to be
anything
a little
else.
rounded. It's going to do that. So I don't know. I'm not convinced.
This one's
I was
not.
really hopeful about this one.
I mean, it's almost like somebody has shined something in his living room.
Oh, so now it's moving around some other directions. There you go.
I mean, to me, it's like somebody's taken a light and shining it all over
Well,
his bed.
you see how it doesn't really interact with the furniture. It's like it's
It's
on the
see-through.
lens.
Yeah, it's see-through. Oh, here we go. It's
Yeah,
split
and then it
into.
splits into pieces like that. That's obviously a lens flare. That's just a lens flare. I'm over it. Get out of here, you stupid lying jackleg preacher.
Okay.
Ugh.
It's
Yeah.
weird, but it's so jerky and it's see-through. It just
Not only do I think that this is a lens flare, I think he probably did it on purpose because he's
well, I don't
he's
know
trying
that
to
he
convince
did.
people that he
I'm
saw
not
it.
gonna go that far as him doing
I don't
it
know.
on purpose.
I don't trust him. I don't trust him. He's got
Okay.
2 strikes against him and I'm not believing him. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like
Well,
I don't believe it.
I'm not going to go that far as to he perpetrated a hoax, but I will say that I find it very suspect that it's a UFO. It, to me, like I said, looks like a flashlight or something. You can put a lens on a flashlight and make it separate the lights. So I'm not
Or you
going
could just
for it.
have a little bit of light coming from the side onto your
Mhm.
camera lens, and it'll cause that kind of effect. I've had that in pictures I've taken at night back when we were using, the big
Digital.
cameras to
Yeah.
do news shots and stuff. And it's just light will, you'll get a little flare on the lens, and it's nothing. It's not the aliens. It's just, physics.
So, Amy, what do you think?
No, I don't know. I think it had something to do with the lighting or something.
Yeah.
But it
It
just
didn't
looks
rain.
well, especially when
If it
it's
was a
split
glowing
like
orb,
that
come on.
in the house. You know what I mean? I mean, I've never seen something up close like that. So I don't know. It didn't look like it was coming from somewhere. But yeah, was it different looking? Yeah, of course it was. But I don't know if it was a refraction off of something and that caused it. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. That one was just, I mean, I'm not doubting he thinks he saw what he saw. I'm doubting
Doubt
Right,
it.
it is what
right.
it is.
Doubt it deeply.
I know you do. Yeah, I don't know. So,
Okay, well, the next one is way better, and I'm much more excited about this one.
okay.
Who wants to take this one? This is from the declassified military files, May of 2026, my birthday present.
Well, why don't you take it since it's on your birthday? It was,
Okay.
popped out.
Well, it's close enough.
Yeah.
On May 8th, 2026, the Pentagon released a historic initial batch of 162 declassified UAP documents. While internet sleuths and scientists have been combing through the data, one specific military video captured in Florida has completely dominated the discussion. Labeled by investigators NAG UAP 1, June 20. The clip was captured by a sky-facing U.S. military infrared sensor operating over Florida. The military sensor tracked a highly unusual, ultra-hot glowing anomaly. What has made it a viral sensation is that under thermal imaging, the heat signature didn't look like a round sphere. It looked almost humanoid or an upright person. The orb hovered perfectly stationary against heavy winds for an extended period before pulling an abrupt hypervelocity maneuver, shooting completely out of the sensor's tracking frame in the fraction of a second. Because the data comes directly from a declassified military tracking system, it has bypassed the usual skepticism directed at amateur videos. That's me. So, and And with researchers calling it some of the most intriguing hard data released by the government to date. Can we look at this one? This one, I love this one. It's creepy.
Did you pull it up or you want me to pull it up?
It's probably better if you do. I've got one open, but I can't tell which one's the original.
Okay, hold on.
I've got one from Forbes.
Yeah, that's the one I pulled up.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you try to share that video? That one
Okay, let me. It's really grainy and awful, but you'll see it in a second. I'm gonna look and see if I can find a better video. This one is really bad. It's hard to watch.
yeah, it's kind of hard, but the thing about this one that I like is that, it's using, obviously the best sensors we've got. It doesn't really look like a person to me when they zoom in on it, but I can see where they're getting that. So
Okay, I found one that's a little bit clearer in the way of video, so let me share that with you. Because this one to me
yeah, we can.
is very fuzzy.
I'm seeing it now. Well, now it's gone.
Well,
But
all right, watch this one.
Can you enlarge it? Can you make it like the whole screen?
there we go.
Look at that. I mean,
So no, they said it was standing still, so this is moving around. Is it just like the sensor is kind of trying to track it,
yeah.
or sensors moving around? Maybe
So I don't know what I'm looking at.
it's just a little bright white
There, it's
Oh, I
dot.
see
by you.
that. I see that.
And then
Okay.
they've got it. They got some kind of thing around it, like they're trying to lock them into it. And then it says 4 or 5 m, which might be meters. Is that the size of it?
I think so.
It was and this is an infrared sensor. So, and you see like I guess the sort of wavy lines going by. Is that just like different air temperatures of the wind going by? It
Yeah,
says it was
because
very
think
high
about
wind.
this. This is the infrared. It's not a regular camera that is capturing it. So you're seeing all sorts of wind.
They zoom in, and lo and behold, it's Captain Marvel.
Yeah, if you look at it, it's like, what is that?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it looks like,
It looked
if
like a
you really,
person walking.
yeah, if you stare at it
Yes.
long enough, it looks like somebody walking.
I mean, it
That-
kind of looks like, yeah, it
Hey.
there are moments where it looks like a person. Yeah.
Yeah, could be Captain Marvel cruising the neighborhood.
Oh my goodness. That is wild.
Yeah.
That one, who can say what that is? That's truly unexplainable. I don't know what that is.
I mean,
Oh
look
wow,
at
now
it
that
now.
really looks like a person.
Yeah.
Well, now it doesn't. But there you go. It's like it's got features,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's maybe
And
rotating or something. I don't know.
constantly morphing into something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever it is, it's morphing. Okay, now it's moving again. But in the beginning of this video, did you notice how it was just flitting around all over the place? Let's see.
Yeah.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Didn't seem to be related to the wind. It's not.
No, I
The
mean,
wind seems to
and
be pretty consistent. They go in one direction.
and then it just drops, boof, and swings around.
No, that is for sure Captain Marvel. You got
You
that
know, I'm going with Captain Marvel too. There's something there on that one.
one.
I don't know. But yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
it's got something going there.
That is
Phenomenal.
genuinely hard to explain.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
I don't
Kind of
know.
Yeah, you tell me. I mean, the thing it looks most like is Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I mean
So,
it kind of morphs into a body of some sort.
right.
Could be Captain Marvel.
so
We'll go with that.
that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
You know, that one, what it is, I don't know. And it's really hot apparently. So
It looked really
what
hot.
would that possibly be? Like, I can't think of a thing that could act like that and be that hot. Like,
I can't
would
think
it
of
be?
anything that would fly because it would zip that way, then it dropped down. It kind of
Yeah.
did a circle thing, went up and down. And granted, planes can do that sort of pattern, but not that quickly from what I've observed. And
wouldn't be
I
that
don't know
hot.
that they can turn quite like that.
And it
So,
didn't seem like it was shaped like a plane. And it
No.
stood still for a very long time. And
Yeah.
it seemed to, I don't know.
the
Like, the only
only thing
yeah.
that we have that hovers is either a helicopter or a Harrier. And neither one of them look like that.
Yeah. No, that's something else. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It,
No.
you know, if you were trying to make that happen, how could you do it? You maybe focused microwave lasers on a certain area or something. I don't know, but I don't know how you would do it.
I don't either. I mean, that one
So,
definitely is a stumper.
yeah, that's a great one. I see. There's stuff out there we don't know what it is. I don't know what
Exactly.
it is. Is it aliens? Is it an alien flying around? Like maybe sure, but probably not. Like, you know, like
It's something that we can't explain. That one is something we can't explain.
Exactly.
I can't even come up with a reasonable, logical, skeptical, it could be this. Jeff, you go further than I do, but I can't do it. You know, it was hot.
Maybe do something like I said, if you focused a bunch of microwave lasers, you know, beam at a certain area, maybe, but still there would be like streaks coming off of it.
Yeah, that one I struggle with. I don't know that's got an answer at all. That one just
I love that one. That one is a truly unexplainable thing that God knows
odd.
what that is.
I want to backtrack to something. When we were talking about, is it the Gulf Breeze? So in that area. So, and I don't think we mentioned it, but back in the, I think we got sidetracked. So anyways, back in the 1980s, 1990s, when we were talking about, you know, the pictures in the sky that did, you know, the UFO that looked like a lampshade. But I was going to bring up, because, you know, of course, you know, and everybody says it, these things happen around bases and, bases and everything. But back when I saw what I saw, which it didn't click until today, was we lived close to Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. So even though we lived out in the country, it was, you know, 25 to 30 miles to Eglin Air Force Base. But to get from where we lived to actually the city where Eglin Air Force Base is right off of, you had to drive on a highway. On each side was actually owned by the military. That's where they did their training and stuff. So, but anyways, back to that. So when I was looking at the gates, it dawned on me that they were testing the mother of all bombs there on Eglin Air Force Base, and that orb was about the same time. So I don't know. I was just putting the two and two together. So I just wanted to bring that up.
It is interesting. It's definitely smaller than the Moab bomb. So it's your orbs. I mean, definitely smaller. I may be related. Maybe the orbs like to watch big booms. Maybe that's why they hang
Well,
around nuclear sites.
I mean, there has been so many sightings, like, I don't want to tell you when they had the nuclear plant blow up, and I mean, there's sightings that, all, UFOs are in the area during that time, or anytime there's a major event, hurricanes, anything major going on these bases. That's when you'll see the increased signs of people actually, well, noticing it. Let's put it that way. Not that they're not there all the time, because I do believe they are, but that's when people will say that they see them more often is around major events, weather events, military events. So,
Well, maybe then, and this is something I've always had a thought about, is because you always see the UFOs and the weird high strangeness stuff around big events. I
mhm.
always wondered, is it time travelers? Is it people coming back to
Yeah,
watch?
and I have thought about that too, because they don't interact. Okay. And you think about it. I mean, and this is documented. This is documented. The military has chased these things flying in the sky. They can't catch them, right? If these people, aliens, whatever you want to call them, if they wanted to blow us up, they could have done that. They would have done that already. So I'm not really, I mean, this, to me, if they wanted to take over our world, they've already done it by now. If they wanted to kill us, they would have done that by now. Do I believe people when they? Why would somebody even make up that they got abducted? You know what I mean? And go into put themselves on the media, and you'd have to be really big attention seeking to do that. Or I mean, I don't know. I just
You have a
so.
much higher opinion of people than I do. I think people make stuff up all the time.
Well,
I,
I
I,
agree. I'm not going to say that
I mean,
100%. I'm not gonna say that 100% of people that, and I'm not the biggest historian or anything, but okay, it's just like people don't believe, in Area 51, and you've got people that were there on their deathbed saying, yeah, we took the aliens. There were some of them alive and some dead. You know what I mean? But he couldn't say anything, because if he did, he probably would have got killed anyways. But he was dying, and he was living in another country at that time,
I think
you know.
the person you're speaking of was a Canadian general who, on his deathbed, said that, yeah, we had
Mhm.
Yeah,
captured some aliens.
yeah.
That was an interesting story, and yeah, why would you make that up right before you die? That's a good
Right, that's
question.
what I'm
I don't know.
saying. He knew, and I would tell you, just from our father being in the military, and he wasn't a general or anything, but they were told, you don't open your mouth. What you see, you don't open your mouth. Things that go on, you don't tell people. And you know that anybody that saw those things back then, they were threatened. We'll make you look like an idiot, and that's what they did to people when they did see stuff. That's why people didn't come forward a lot, because why would they? They're going to be, ridiculed, And so, but anyways,
A lot of that, that Cold War era stuff, you have to remember that there's smart people in the intelligence world that are trying to trick the Soviets. And they may have even had a program to make the Soviets think we had alien tech and that's why we were going to beat them, just to make them waste time trying to look for it.
well, I
They
agree,
did
but
little double blind things like that all the
mhm.
time. And so if you were a general in Canada, you might have really believed that this all
But
happened and it
I
was
don't know
just
that
a
we're
smoke and
talking about
mirrors.
the same person, because the person I'm talking about was not living in Canada. He was living over in Britain when he died. So I don't think it's the same person. And this man was actually there during that time, actually saw them. He was part of it, and he kept quiet all his life until he was about ready to die.
Well, you'll have to figure out who he was. We'll look him up and talk about him next time because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting. I love these stories. Like you always have to remember though that they were, during the Cold War, everything was so hidden, and even so, maybe there was stuff, maybe there wasn't. Maybe they just made it up as a blind for the Soviets to look into.
Well,
You look at
speaking
a guy
of
like
the
Bob
Cold War,
Lazar.
our next session is going to be Oak Ridge, where
Oh,
Jeff lives. And Oak Ridge, of course, is where the National Laboratory was, and very active
still
during the
is.
Cold War. So stay tuned, and we will talk more about the Cold War and Oak Ridge and Tennessee's high strangeness.
Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like, share, and follow our channel for updates. Until next time, stay curious.